guys, welcome to SE Traveler, and today I'm going to be doing a video that's going to become a three-part series about New Zealand. I'm going to be talking about my experience, how much I spent overall, and just give you guys advice on where you can go and what to expect whenever you go over there. I know a lot of people have done videos on New Zealand and their experiences, and even I've done a couple of them. I've done a lot of them on places like Hobbiton. I skydived, I did paragliding, and I even talked about my experience from skydiving itself. You guys can check out all of those videos down below. I'm going to leave the link, and I'm going to put a link over here somewhere or here. So make sure to check those out and get information from those in case if you guys decide that you want to head in that general direction. So for the camper van that I rented, I went through Mighty Go Campers, which keep in mind that whenever you do go through a rental company that they're only open certain amount of hours. So you have to make sure that your flight comes in at a time when they're open, because you're not going to be able to actually go and get your camper van if they come in late. So for me, I went through the Mighty Go Campers, which was highly recommended. It was a company that I saw had no issues. They had everything that I needed. And for 2 whole weeks, they wanted $1,500 in their New Zealand currency, which when translated into our US currency, it ended up being a little over $1,000. Of course, I didn't pay for any insurance or anything yet. They have a requirement when you get there that you put your credit card on file and that you pay for the insurance and kind of go over everything when you get there. And so that was just kind of something that I did. And when I got there, they had a shuttle that was waiting to pick me up, which is one of the nice things and a really awesome option if you are flying in and you just don't want to rent or take a taxi like just to get to the actual place. They have your name, and then you just kind of get instructions sent to you on what the shuttle is going to look like, because they have shuttles that come in all day at the airport. So they're different colors and they have different logos on them, so you have to make sure you get on the right shuttle. Otherwise, you might be going somewhere that you didn't want to go to. So they had my name, and I get there and they put all my luggage in this extra area on the bus. It was kind of cool looking, like it was really tiny, and it was almost like a you know, like the motorcycles that have like the extra seat on the side. It kind of reminded me of that, but enclosed, and it was behind the actual van itself that transported us to the actual Mighty Go Campers home base. And once I got there, everyone was super friendly. Like, everyone was like, yeah, like, we're glad that you made it. Like, how was your flight? Everything was good. And so they give you a iPad, and they close at 4 o'clock over there. So I got there right at like 3:15, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, because my flights were slightly delayed, so I was a little bit behind. They were very understanding, and they gave me the iPad and they said, okay, like, this is the paperwork and you need to go over here, sit at this table, an agent will be with you, and we're going to go over everything you need to know about your camper van, and then after that you'll be set to go. And I was like, okay, like, this sounds awesome, like, this is everything I need, and I'm really excited. And the lady at the front desk kind of was like, yeah, we know, we do this all day, like, you know, move along. So I went to a table and I sat down. And the thing that they do is when they give you the iPad, you go over all these videos that they make, and it tells you about how everything in the camper van works, their laws in New Zealand, what you can and can't do. And then an agent comes by, asks us if you watched the video, and then they sit down with you and they go over all of the do's and don'ts of your camper van. So when you get there, and I didn't know this until I actually arrived, you have to pay for a package depending on how much you think you're gonna drive. So they have you pay per kilometers over there. So I just paid for the premium package, which seemed to make most sense because I was going between both islands. The lady then explained to me that the premium package just means that I have this many miles, and if I go over, I don't have to pay another amount because of that. So that was the option that I went for. I gave them my credit card. I told them that this is what I wanted, and I told them the day I was gonna be back and when I was gonna drop it off and everything, because they were concerned about a late fee. My flight went out at around noon 2 weeks from then, and so I told the lady, like, you don't have to worry, like, it's gonna come back on time. After you fill out the paperwork, you sign basically like your life away. Well, I wouldn't say it's that extreme, but still. They then hand you some keys and they ask you to get all your stuff, and you walk out into this parking lot. You walk out into the parking lot and it's just lines of camper vans, like of all sizes, that have everything you need to live on the road. This lady was not having it at all. She was so upset that I was driving by myself, that I didn't have anyone else there with me to remind me to drive on the left side of the road. Because in the United States, we drive on the right side of the road. As we're in this parking lot, she's going over all of the stuff with me. I have never driven an RV. I have never driven anything like a camper van. I've driven a Suburban, but that's only been a handful of times, if that, and I'm not usually comfortable driving something that large on like the interstate or highway or anything of the sort. So for me, I really needed that extra boost of like knowing where everything was. Luckily, I had gotten this camper van, which is the Deuce 2. It's like a camper van that only sleeps 2 people, but it has like a sink, stovetop, and everything you need in it. And this lady was just not wanting to let me have any reprieve at all, and it was driving me crazy. She was like quickly going over everything, and she didn't really seem all that interested in letting me know what was going on. And when it was over, she wished me luck and handed me the keys, and then she was like, okay, like, basically get out. I'd never really driven a lot of automatic vehicles, so I actually put everything in the camper van, I got in the driver's seat, and I was staring at the actual like console, trying to figure out what everything meant. Some stuff was obvious, like P for park, R for reverse, N for neutral, but they had like D and then D1 and D2, and it totally was throwing me off. So I had the van on, like I had actually turned it on, and everything was set and ready to go, and I saw this guy drive this camper van into a parking space, and I waved him down and I was like, hey, I don't really know what all this means, can you help me? The way he explained it was, if you ever drive a manual, then the drive 1 and drive 2 is like your first and second gear, but more intense. So like if it starts to kind of like shake a little, then you probably need to go up a gear. So that was actually really helpful because, as I said, I've driven manual pretty much my entire life. So for me, it was nice to have that explanation. Once that was all done, I took off, and I was really slow because I had to keep in mind to drive on the left side of the road. The nice thing about the camper vans is that they actually have stickers on the windows saying stay to the left. Even though you had those subtle reminders of staying to the left while you were driving, for me it was still quite a challenge for the first couple of days to remind myself that I had to stay to the left. Certain turns that you will be making while you're over there are going to feel kind of awkward. So like it's one of those things where you have to keep that in mind constantly if you are traveling by yourself. If you do get in an accident, it could be pretty bad. If you don't have the right insurance, then none of it's going to be covered. Of course, it'll be your fault because you're from out of the country, so you don't know what you're doing, according to them. Now, the camper van itself is wonderful. It's everything I could have dreamed of. It's one of those situations that I felt so at home. I felt like I was literally living my best life while I was there because it had everything that I needed aside from a shower and an actual like toilet. They give you a portable potty, like so that you can empty it at certain places. They give you solutions so that you're not just going. You do have to clean it out before you return it to the actual home base itself. But other than that, it had everything else. Fridge, gas stove top, it had dishes, silverware, let's see, a sink with running water, which is awesome. It had a fridge, which really like is the ultimate need if you're going to be cooking on the go, which I was every single day. So the next couple of videos are going to be coming out here soon. I'm going to be talking about more of the places I stayed, the expenses that I spent, what to expect. If you haven't watched my skydive video, the experience, how much it costs, and what you're going to go through whenever you do go there, make sure to go click that video over here. It's definitely worth the watch. It is a little bit long like this one, but it's me giving everything that I know to you guys so that you can make that experience that you've always wanted happen. For me personally, I really want to go back to New Zealand. I really want to spend more time there, but that's not on the agenda right now. What's coming up is Iceland in September, and I'm really excited. We're going to be doing a whole lot of stuff, so please make sure to subscribe, like, comment, follow along on my journey. I'm getting more and more into this YouTube thing. I'm getting more and more serious about it, so anybody that wants to help out with expenses and is really into art, you can go to www.sdtraveler.org /314. It will be in a little link down below in my description box. All purchases you guys make is going to go towards my funds, and I couldn't have done any of this without you guys at all. Without y'all, I wouldn't have been able to do this trip to New Zealand. I wouldn't have been able to travel as much as I have, and I really just want to live my best life. So I really hope that you guys will show me some love and help me out and go and purchase some pieces, or just follow along on my journey. The more people that follow, the higher the count gets, and the more ability that I'll be able to make more of these videos for you guys. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that this will help you guys in some sort of way. I'm going to leave the link for the Mighty Go Camper guys down below as well. And I hope you guys all have an absolutely wonderful day. Thank you guys so much. See you in the next one.